Hello bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are starting a brand new reading vlog. Time since I've done just like a chillaxed, non-themed reading vlog, I guess. If you saw one of my last videos, I read Onyx Storm and absolutely hated it and need to redeem myself from that. It was absolutely terrible. If you want to hear my in-depth and spoiler thoughts, go watch that video. I'm not talking about it ever again. This is literally the last thing I'm saying about it on my channel. Hopefully. After that, I was like, I need something that's gonna like completely get that book out of my mind. And I decided to pick up the first book from my February TBR, which is Cross My Heart by Megan Collins. This was my aardvark pick for the month of January. And when I read the description of this on the website, I was like, this sounds so weird. Basically, our main character, Rosie, gets a heart transplant, and the heart that she got was from the wife of one of her favorite like thriller authors. And they start messaging on this thing called Donor Connect, and she's like, oh my god, like your wife saved my life, blah blah blah. They start like forming some sort of connection, and she becomes a little bit obsessed with him. I'm not going to say much about this. It's a relatively short book, so I don't know what would be spoilers and what would not be spoilers. It says, as Rosie and Morgan, who is the husband of the heart donor, correspond, the pretense of avoiding personal details soon disappears, even if Rosie's keeping some cards close to her chest. But as she digs deeper into Morgan's previous marriage, she discovers disturbing rumors about the man she's falling for. Could Morgan have had something to do with his late wife's death? And can Rosie's heart sustain another break, or is she next? Basically, this starts out with Rosie working at her parents' bridal dress shop. She suffered a really bad breakup that kind of like caused her to have some sort of heart condition that caused her to need a transplant. Enter Daphne Thorne, the wife of Morgan Thorne, who is a local celebrity author. I started this yesterday. I read 60 pages. I'm on chapter 4. This is a fast-paced read, and I'm loving it. It is so strange. It goes back and forth between obviously regular chapters and also chat emails between Rosie and Morgan. And it's gonna be a weird time, and I can't wait to continue reading this. I have a feeling I'm gonna read this relatively quickly. It's only 305 pages, and I'm already 60 pages in. So I feel like we're gonna read this one really quickly. So this is my physical read for the week. So when I start this, it is Monday, February 3rd. I took Louis for a walk a little bit earlier, and I actually started the audiobook for Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the Bloom Stories edition, so there's additional chapters written in this. And if you saw my February TBR video, then you would have heard me talk about this. It's basically a modern and spicy twist on obviously the Pride and Prejudice classic by Jane Austen. It is so good so far, so juicy so far. I am 43 pages in. I'm listening to it on audiobook on the Bloom Stories app, which you can find the link to in my description box if you want to sign up. You can use the link that's in the description box, or you can use code Lexi's Reading, and you get, I think, up to 66% off your premium subscription. Bloom Stories is basically just like PORN for your ears, and it is fantastic. This book on audio is so cool. The first 2 chapters I was like, I'm not really vibing with it, and then the first like spicy chapter happened and I was like, oh yeah, I'm into this. It is full of sound effects. It is full of like music in the background. You can hear people talking and coughing in the background, and the amount of detail in these audiobooks is unreal. And I have listened to a couple other little short stories on there too, and let me tell you, it's a time. So if you want to sign up for Bloom Stories, you can use the link or code that are listed in my description box. And if you're a spice girl like me, trust me, you are gonna love Bloom Stories. Listening to this on audio, I'm hoping I'll finish this week as well. It says it's only like under 13 hours and 40 minutes. So between all the driving I'm doing this week, I should be able to read this fairly quickly. So hoping to finish these 2 books this week. And while I have you here, I actually got a package today, which would be my book of the month subscription box for February. And I got some pretty good books in this month's box. I'm so excited to share these books with you. I got 3 books, 2 of which are sequels in a series. One series, I have not even read the first book, but it's on my TBR for February. And the other book is the 3rd book in a series. And the 2nd book was on my January TBR, but I never got to it. But it's fine. Also, shameless plug on this one too. If you want to get your first book of the month book for only $5, you can use the link in my description box. They're not paying me to say this. They are not sponsoring this video, which that would be lovely if book of the month would want to start working with me every month. But it is just a referral link, so you will get your first book for only $5 and I will get a credit for next month. Honestly, it's a win-win situation because you're getting a brand new hardcover book for only $5. Sometimes you get new releases, sometimes you get your favorite books, and sometimes you will discover new favorites. So let's talk about what I got. The first book I got is Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I feel like I've heard so much about this book. Oh, she wrote Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which I also have in the book of the month version. A new mother whose world is upended when her husband commits a terrifying crime. How well does she truly know the man she loves, and what danger does she face if her entire life has been built on a lie? I can't even imagine that happening to me. So this is the first book we got. The next book I got is Scythe and Sparrow, which is the third book in the Ruinous Love trilogy by Bryn Weaver. This is the book that I was supposed to read the second book in January, but when I saw that it was a book of the month option and add-on for February, I immediately grabbed it because I love the first book so much and I know I'm gonna continue to love the series. And this is the last book in the series, so I'm determined to read these fairly soon. And then the last book is Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. This is the Crimson Moth book 2, the first book being Heartless Hunter. The first book to this is on my February TBR, but I am doing Tori's Romantasy-a-thon and I'm gonna read that book in that dedicated video, which I think it's like the 15th to the 21st of February. So I'm gonna be filming a dedicated vlog for that readathon. And I think I'm gonna read, I know I'm gonna read Heartless Hunter in that vlog. So stay tuned for that, it's coming. This is basically about a witch and a witch hunter who fall in love, and yeah, that's all I know. When I saw this as an add-on option, since I have the book of the month version of Heartless Hunter, I immediately had to snag this. Also for this one, I forgot to tell you that it is the steamy finale to the best-selling Ruinous Love trilogy, a friends with benefits dark romantic comedy packed with murder, mayhem, and spice, which is literally the best way to describe this series. It is literally murder, spice, and romantic comedy. Dark romance, I should say. It's very dark. It has everything I love in a book right now. I'm in my dark romance era. I can't wait to get back into this series. So this is my little book of the month haul. We're starting off the video strong and with a long intro clip, but it is Monday, did I say that? The February 3rd at about 5:15 p.m. I'm gonna get dinner started and just chillax tonight. I am absolutely exhausted. I got home at like 3:30 and Lily just had to like sit on the couch and decompress in silence for a second. I took Lily for a walk and here I am. I'm gonna start dinner and then we're gonna get back into Cross My Heart by Megan Collins, and I will be back when I have some sort of reading update. Okay, hello friends. I look kind of crazy right now. It is now the next day. It's Tuesday at 6:15 p.m. I have not come back in for a reading update at all today because after I checked in and started this video yesterday, I literally made dinner, cleaned the dishes, cleaned up the house, and Chris somehow, some way convinced me to start Grey's Anatomy. So we watched 2 episodes of that, and then by the time we were done, it was like 8:30 and I was absolutely exhausted and I was like, can we please go up to bed? I ended up falling asleep at like 9:30. I read a little bit of Cross My Heart last night when we went upstairs. So now I'm on page 75, chapter 5. So I think I read like 14 pages last night, which is not great progress, but this is, something seems really suspicious about our main character, Rosie. She just seems like she has some sort of like obsessive trait when it comes to men, and like once she gets them, she obsesses over them and it drives them away. So I'm interested to hear more about that. And they also think that this guy that she's obsessing over, who his wife died, that's whose heart she has now. They think that, well, I don't know who they is when I say that, but she saw some comment online that said like, he did it, blah, blah, blah. That's all I'm gonna say about this book. I'm really enjoying it, gonna continue reading this today. I did listen to a decent amount of the audiobook for this on my drive today, and I'm not gonna lie, I did fast forward through some chapters because Pride and Prejudice is a very repetitive story, and it's basically just these girls and their parents trying to find men for them to like date, and they go to a lot of balls, do a lot of dancing, and yada yada yada. Pride and Prejudice is a very slow moving book. It's really like character focused and dialogue focused. I was listening to it today and I was like, all right, this is getting a little boring. So we skipped a couple of chapters, and in Bloom's stories, let me see if I can show you this. Like here it tells you what chapters are spicy, so that has like a little fire fire emoji. So I did skip forward to some of the spicier chapters. Sorry, my light is flicking, I don't know why. I listened to a couple of chapters and then kind of like skimmed when I was like, all right, this is getting a little boring. So let's figure out where we are. I finished on chapter 4, which you're probably like, that seems like you skipped a lot. It's because I did. But again, I know the story of Pride and Prejudice, so like a lot of the things that I knew, I was like, oh, I don't need to listen to this. But hearing it in the spicy version is unreal. It is so crazy when there is spicy scenes, and Bloom Stories is basically all spicy stories, and like the sound effects that they have for certain things is wild. So I did skip quite a bit of chapters, but I also drive a lot of hours in a day. Like today I think I drove like 4 hours, so I can listen to 4 hours of an audiobook and then increase the speed and I can listen to a lot more. So it looks like I read a lot, but mind you, I listened to a lot. I drove 4 hours today and I skipped some chapters, so that's why it seems like a drastic jump. I'm now on page 435, chapter 44, and this is a spicy chapter, so I cannot wait for the spice scene. The thing I love about this book, in this edition in particular, one, it's absolutely beautiful, but two, there's also like some art in between the chapters. The part that I just got to in the middle of this chapter is a spicy scene. Louis wants to play. Can you give me 5 minutes? He's like, no, absolutely not. Can you come here? I'm gonna start talking. He's gonna start speaking it. Hey! Such a little shit. He's doing it on purpose, I swear. Louis! Anyways, we're gonna continue with this throughout the rest of the week. Louis! Can you wait? Like I said, it's Tuesday, so I have Wednesday. I have Wednesday and Louis. I have Wednesday. Guys, I can't make this shit up. Okay, can I have the ball? I have Wednesday and Friday. I have Wednesday and Friday to listen to this while I'm driving, so I would definitely be able to finish this. I also went to Barnes & Noble today. Got a couple things because I was near one of my favorite Barnes & Noble. This light is driving me nuts, which is in Poughkeepsie because that's where I was for work today. And I was just browsing and I found this in their book annex. It's the complete language of flowers. And it's basically just like every single flower you can imagine and like what's in it, like what it helps with, and like a symbolic meaning, possible powers, folklore, and facts. Fun stuff like that. Like here's an example of everything it shows you. And then I had the idea to like go through this every once in a while. I would love to do it once a day, but I don't think that's realistic. But go through it and like find a random thing that kind of correlates with how I'm feeling on a specific day. Like this one, for example, it's like a butter daisy. It says symbolic meanings: a token, cheer, disappointment, faith, innocence, loyal love, patience, purity, simplicity. So like cut this little portion out and then put it in this, which I also got from the book annex, which is just a blank sketchbook. Cut that picture out, put it in here, and then kind of write like a little diary entry with it saying like why I picked that thing and why I feel that way. Louis is grabbing another toy. So I don't know, I thought that was cute, and for $12, now Louis got his video camera out. This was $8. And this was $12. So I felt like for $20 total, that was a cute idea. And then obviously, do you want to show them your camera? You want to show them your toy? He has a camera toy. Maybe he's like, well, mom's using her camera. Why can't I use mine? Can I see your toy? Let me see it. Let's see if he'll let me. Look at this toy. It's literally a camera. How cute is it that he went and grabbed that? That's what he wanted to play with right now. That's a cute boy. Say, mom's filming on her camera. I want to film on mine too. How about a treat? Just shut him up for a second. Thank you. Okay, maybe that'll distract him for 0.3 seconds so I can finish filming this. Anyways, thought that could be a really cute like journaling prompt, slash I can use this in any of my journals that I have for this year. And then I got 2 books. I think I told you guys yesterday, I'm almost positive I said it in the intro clip, but I am in such a dark romance mood. And I was looking at the dark romance table and saw this. It's Shallow River by H.D. Carlton, which I'm pretty sure this is the author of like, that Hunting Adeline, I want to say. I don't know, I'm pretty sure it is, but this sounded so good. It says, Shadow Hills where souls suffer slow and miserable death. When River McAllister escaped from Shadow Hill, she left her innocence behind and some of her sanity too. Now she's rebuilding her life with her dream man, and life couldn't be better. Ryan Fitzgerald is everything you'd want in a man: attractive, rich, aspiring lawyer, and would do anything to keep River. But that's not the only thing that attracts her. It's his attentiveness, his possessiveness, maybe not so much his temper. When her relationship takes a dark turn, Ryan's estranged brother, Mako, is the only one who sees it. He knows exactly what Ryan is capable of, and it's not the first time he had to be a knight in shining armor. River came from Shadow Hill though. She's never needed saving before. What Mako doesn't see is that River is perfectly capable of taking care of herself. The only one who should be scared is Ryan. Oh, this has got some pretty dark trigger warnings, but excited for this one. And then this one was kind of like a last minute pick, but the description sounded really good, and I looked at some reviews on Goodreads and it sounded really good. This is Twisted Night by Kay Bromberg. I've never seen and or heard about this author. Holden, they thought they'd managed to get rid of me once and for all. They thought I'd just forget what they did to my brother, but I'm gonna make sure they never forget if only I can stop thinking about her. Rowan, no one sees me. Behind my brother, I'm a ghost managing the family business that he claims to run. But I'm tired of playing second fiddle. I'm tired of pretending I'm going to take what's mine. The only problem, well, he just came back to town. We're in our dark romance era and I'm kind of here for it. This upcoming Sunday, which is February 9th, you're seeing this after that, is my birthday, and Chris and I are doing the 2-minute Barnes & Noble challenge, so make sure you go check out that video. It should already be posted on my channel, and I think I'm literally gonna go to the romance / dark romance section and just grab as many books as I possibly can. I really want to get Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. That was a long update. I'm sorry to be so chatty, but your girl's in a chatty mood. I'm going to chillax for a little bit and get some reading done of Cross My Heart. We'll probably be back for a check-in tomorrow. Okay, also guys, this is not reading related, but I started watching Monsters on Netflix. You're probably like, yeah, that came up forever ago. I don't watch much TV because I spend 99% of my day reading, but I started watching this and I'm obsessed. So I think I'm gonna watch an episode of this, then cook dinner, and then before I go to bed, we're gonna get some reading done. Okay, hello friends. This is such a strange angle. I'm in my reading room, but I have you propped up where I usually put my books that I read each month. It is Wednesday, February 5th at about 4:15 p.m. I just got home from work and I wanted to update you quickly before I go take Louie for a WALK. I finished Pride and Prejudice. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't think it was that great, honestly. The only thing that gave it that extra star was because of the spicy scenes that Bloom Stories added in, and because of the audiobook itself. I feel like if I tried to read this physically, I probably would have been so bored. But because I listened to it on Bloom Stories, it made the experience a little bit better. They put so much effort and so much like engineering into their audiobooks, and it was just amazing. And I'm definitely gonna keep listening to some stories on the app. But for Pride and Prejudice, it's a 3-star. This is just the dust jacket, but I'm still reading Cross My Heart. I swear I'm gonna finish it this week. But it's just like, by the time I'm done doing like my daily activities of like cleaning, doing dishes, cooking dinner, all that stuff. I'm also in the middle of 2 shows right now. Chris encouraged me to start Grey's Anatomy, so we've been watching that. And I was like, look, I'll watch 1 single episode. This was last night. And so we watched an episode of that, but I also finished the episode of the Menendez brothers, the Monsters show on Netflix. So I didn't get much reading done, but I'm gonna keep going. And I forgot to mention that this book has so many in-depth Friends references that it makes me love it that much more. I don't have the book physically here with me, it's in my backpack. So when I do my next reading update, I'll show you an exact example of what I'm talking about. And then I was looking at my Libby app to see like what audiobooks were available now. And it was so crazy because this morning I was thinking how the last 2 new Catherine Center books, I somehow, some way was sent e-arcs, just like automatically, they just sent it to me. I think the first one for Hello Stranger, I might have requested it. And then the second one, the book she came out with last year, which was the rom-commers, they just automatically sent it to me. And I was like, I know she has a new release coming out this year, I think in the next couple months. And I was literally thinking to myself today, like, I wonder if they're gonna send that to me, or like, should I reach out and ask if they can send it to me, because I love her books. So when I was looking for an audiobook today that was available now, I actually saw that The Bodyguard by Catherine Center was available, and this is a book of the month version. So not only am I reading another book from an author I love, but I'm also getting another book of the month book off my shelf, because one of my goals for 2025 is to read more of my book of the month picks. Let's see how far into this I am. I think I've already listened to like 20%. It's so good. Catherine Center just knows how to write a rom-com, and she knows how to get my interest within the first like page or 2. Okay, so I'm 22 pages in. I'm on chapter 6, and this is a relatively short book. I think it's literally like right at 300 pages.
I was just about to say yes.
Okay, here we go. So I'm on page 63, so I listened to this little portion right here, and I'm freaking loving this book. So it's about our main character, Hannah. She is what they consider an executive protection agent, which is a bodyguard. Her mom in the very beginning has passed away, and the next day her boyfriend of like a year dumps her and literally says to her, this is the craziest thing. There's 3 reasons why I broke up with you. 1, you work too much. 2, you live a boring life because you love your work so much. And 3, you're a bad kisser. And she's like, what the fuck? Like the first 2, yeah, whatever, that's accurate. But like to call somebody a bad kisser after you've been dating them for like a year is wild. So like that happened in the first maybe 10 pages, and from there I was hooked. Now she is working a big case to try to get like a promotion almost. The person that she's gonna become a bodyguard for is Jack Stapleton. I don't even know what he's famous for. I don't know what he's famous for, but he's famous for something, and it's a fake dating trope. So I am reading this. I'm gonna take Louis for you know what. We're gonna put our headphones in and continue listening because I cannot wait to keep reading this. I just love Catherine Center's books. She's one of those authors that like you would think I wouldn't like because I like spicy books, but just the way she writes things, it's just so funny. And I'm gonna reach out to the publisher and see if I can get her new release. I don't even know what it's called. Let's see. The Love Haters. Oh, I'll have to follow it. When does it come out? I've read 2 of her books so far and absolutely love both of them. Gave them both 4 stars. And I could see this one being a 4.5-ish star. May 20th. So we're gonna reach out to the publisher and see if they will send me an e-arc, or I would really love a physical arc, but I could do an e-arc too. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna put these back. We're gonna get our headphones on, take our doggy for a you know what, and then I'm gonna do some reading tonight, some major reading. I do have some editing I need to do though. But tomorrow I'm working from home because we're supposed to get a lot of snow. So between tomorrow and Friday, I will finish this book and maybe we'll start another one. I don't know. I'm gonna make a small coffee because I want to. Just a little one. Give it a little stir. Also, if you didn't look at my, look at the snake. He's like, where's my ice cream? Hey! Busted. Also, if you didn't see my cozy work from home vlog, you wouldn't know that I got a new coffee machine. So now, this is mine and Chris's coffee station. It's a hers and his, because Chris likes Nespresso. And I was using French press, but this is so much fucking easier than my French press. This whole pot of coffee makes the same amount as me doing 2 rounds of my French press, but I literally just have to pour the coffee grounds in and press a button and I'm done. So I fucking love this thing. I also think it's so cute. Let me see if I can show you. It's the Hayden coffee maker in the putty shade. It's so aesthetically pleasing and just beautiful. I love her. Best purchase ever. What? What do you want? Tell the people that my mom should give me an ice cream. Do you want ice cream? Yeah, you want doggy ice cream? This is his favorite. They're the only ones he'll eat. It is the Dogsters Nutley and cheese flavor. He loves these things. Ready? Where you going? Go in the reading room. Go in the reading room. Louis, go. In the reading room. Go back there. In the reading room. Go. Back there. Usually he knows what the fucking reading room is. He's just being goofy. Come on. So Louis gonna have his ice cream. Here it is. I'm gonna have my coffee. Hold please. Gotta go grab it. I got my water, my coffee, which is delicious. My book, which we're gonna read Cross My Heart a little bit right now, and my phone. And I also have tissues because I'm still sniffly. It is now 5:20 and I'm gonna sit down and have a little bit of a reading sesh. Chris and I are trying hot yoga at 6:30. Oh no, I'm bleeding. I did hit my hand on something. Chris and I are going to a hot yoga class with another of our couple friends at 6:30, so we probably have to leave at like a little at 6 or a little after 6, maybe like 6:05. I have about 40 minutes until we need to do that, and I think I'm gonna sit down, chug this coffee, which might be a terrible idea right before I go to hot yoga, but fuck it, YOLO, right? So let's have a little reading sesh. Okay, so in my most recent update where I was telling you what I was reading and how this book has a lot of Friends references, a funny one came up. So I don't know if this is a spoiler, but basically she's walking somewhere and she can see in somebody's house, and actually I don't know if I can say this. How do I say this out of context? But you know what? We'll just say this. I'll tell you the Friends reference because it cracks me up. It says, I recognize an episode of Friends. There's something so comforting in this view, so simple and ordinary and familiar. I allowed myself to indulge in it watching with somebody as Ross, Rachel, and Chandler struggle to carry a couch to Ross's apartment. And though I can't hear the words from here, I see David Schwimmer hit his line, pivot. That is so detailed, and like, it's not just like a Friends reference, it's like a whole setup of a reference. Let me see if I can find the other one too. There was more. I honestly don't feel like looking for it, but there's a ton of references in here, like the whole Ross and Rachel or Friends thing, and I love it. But I'm gonna keep reading. We're gonna go do some hot yoga, and I'll probably be back tomorrow morning for like an actual check-in. Come here. Louie, how do you feel about the snow day? Are you mad because you can't go outside? Hi friends. Whoa, I just scratched my neck and it's really red. It is Thursday. Chris and I are both home, working from home on snow days because it snowed last night into this morning, and we're both working from home. I just said that. But as I was just working, I have friends playing in the background, and I remember the reference in this book that I was talking about yesterday that I was like, oh, I can't find. It had to do with the episode where Chandler and Rachel eat the cheesecake like off the ground, and it's like the episode where one of their neighbors gets cheesecake but it gets delivered to their apartment. Chandler eats it, and then it happens again, and then they drop it and they eat it off the floor, and that was the Friends reference that was in this that I really liked. And honestly, those like detailed references is what is making me love this book. I'm currently on page 120. I have a theory about this. I have a feeling it's gonna be similar to You, like the setup where they're both fucking psychopaths. Like I think the husband in this is a psycho, and I think our main character is also a psycho, and she's gonna realize something about what happened to his wife, and she's gonna be like, oh, well, that's okay because I would do the same, and they're gonna fall in love. I have a theory it's gonna be similar to You, but that's my update for the day. I'm working from home, like I just said. I am finishing up editing a video and editing and doing some other stuff for my full-time job. I have a meeting at 1, and then after 2, that meeting is from 1 to 2, and then after that I'm pretty much done for the day, and I'm gonna read. Also, later today, Chris and I are doing the 2-minute Barnes & Noble shopping challenge where I have 2 minutes to go through Barnes & Noble and grab as many books as I possibly can. He's doing that for my birthday, which is February 9th, which has already passed, and I'm filming a dedicated video to that whole experience, so it's already up on my channel. It was the last video I posted, so make sure you go watch it. I will also tag it in the end screen of this video. It's hopefully gonna be a good one. I haven't done it yet, but I'm hoping I crush it. I did it on TikTok in 2022, and I think I got like 13 books in 2 minutes, but this time I'm gonna be more strategic about the genres I buy because I'm very much in a dark romance mood and a fantasy romance mood. So those are gonna be the two like sections I hit the most. I think I'm gonna spend the most time in the romance section because I want a lot of dark romances. I wanna find my favorite dark romance books, so yeah, go check out that video. I'm gonna get back to work and then I will check in a little bit later. Hi friends, I gotta put glasses on because I'm looking rough. It's Friday and a week from hell, work-wise. I'm so burnt out, it's not even funny. Checking in for a reading update because this book took quite a turn yesterday. I had this whole theory about it being similar to You, and the second part came, where did it go? So part 2, half my theory was completely wrong. I'm really sad about it because I really thought that's how it was gonna go, but now I have a new theory worked up in my head, and I'm not gonna tell you that theory unless it's wrong. Up to part 2, I was like, yeah, this is how it's gonna go, and then boom, the sentence before part 2, complete plot twist. Complete opposite of what I thought was gonna happen. And now I have no fucking clue what's gonna happen. I am loving this. I'm gonna finish it tonight. It's Friday, did I say that? February 7th at about 6:30 p.m. What? Tell them it's your house. Yeah. we have Chris's parents' dog for the night, and he's such a bully, and Louis is such a nice dog that he won't like at him. And I keep telling him, I'm like, Louis, fuck him up. Show him that this is your house and that you're the boss. And he just like won't. It's Friday night. I'm staying up until I finish this. I am on page 187, and I think it's like 305. So I have a little over 100 pages left, which once I get into this and can get off my phone, I do read a lot of this. So we're definitely finishing this tonight. I listened to a good portion of this on my drive today. I drove to Connecticut and back. So now I need to figure out where in the audiobook I am. So when I started today, I was at 20%. Now I'm at 71% done. I'm also loving this audiobook. So let me figure out, oh, I just started chapter 25. So hold please. So when I started this today, I was on I was on page 63. So now I'm on page 216. I listened to this portion. Oh no. So I read this little portion right here, and I am friggin' loving this book. There's a lot of tropes in it, which I thought I wasn't gonna like, but it's not that she's like trying to edge out every single trope. It's just fake dating, their forced proximity in one bed, even though they don't sleep in the same bed. But it's not like she's trying too hard with each trope, and I think that's why I love Catherine Center's writing. It's because she like mentions these tropes, but it doesn't try to be that trope and that trope only. She just says like, hey, yeah, they're fake dating and they're stuck in the same room. Like, isn't that hilarious? And just the way she writes her books, I don't know. I don't know why I love her book so much. I absolutely hate our main character, Hannah's ex-boyfriend and her best friend. I want to fucking gut punch them, specifically the ex-boyfriend, because he's just like really fucking annoying. I absolutely love our other main character. Was it Jack or Jake? Jack Stapleton. Like, he makes my heart melt. I feel so bad for him. There was some childhood trauma that he went through that made him who he is today, and he's still clearly not over it. And I love that he's like, I don't know, I love him. I love him so much. And I can't wait to see how this ends, because it's definitely taking a couple twists and turns. And I mean, let's be real. We know the two end up together, but like right now it seems like Hannah, our main character, is so detached and like doesn't want it at all, but also she has feelings for Jack. It's kind of like, well, he's a client, like I'm not gonna do that, and the job is end, they end, you never see the person again. So I can't wait to see how this goes. So this is right at 302 pages, so I have less than 100 pages left of this, which between over the weekend I might finish it. I don't know. I don't really listen to audiobooks unless I'm driving, and it's my birthday weekend, so I don't know if I'll be doing much audiobook listening, but I will for sure have this done by Monday, but who knows. Maybe if I'm like cleaning or walking this weekend, I will listen to it, but no promises. I think we're gonna keep this reading vlog going until I finish both of these, so it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday when I finish this. I don't know, to be determined. Or maybe I will just like physically read the rest of this, we'll see, or listen to the audiobook and clean the house or something, be productive, I don't know. But the focus for tonight is finishing Cross My Heart, because I need to know what the fuck is happening. Friends, it has been a couple days. It is actually Tuesday, February 11th now. The reason I didn't come back in was because it was just a busy weekend. I was so stressed about work last week that I actually had like a little bit of a mental breakdown on Saturday when everything just kind of like hit me, and like just there was a lot of stuff that hit me all at once and I just kind of lost it. Also, Louis has a bully stick per usual. And then obviously Sunday was a Super Bowl and it was my birthday, and I literally was like detached from the world. I wasn't like off social media because I was thanking people that were saying happy birthday to me, but that's besides the point and useless information. And then yesterday, which was Monday, February 10th, I was actually downstate in New Jersey for the night for a work event that I had today, which is now Tuesday the 11th. So it's been a little bit of a busy weekend, and I am finally back to end this vlog. Waiting for Louis. He's like almost done chewing his bully stick. That didn't last you very long. That was not a good one. That lasted him literally 5 minutes. Anyways, so now it's Tuesday and we're gonna recap the 3 books I read over this past week. The first one being my camera battery's gonna die. Oh, good God. Okay, we're back in business. The battery has been changed. What I was saying was the first book I finished in this weekly reading blog is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the Bloom's Stories edition, the special edition that has bonus spicy chapters. I listened to the audiobook of this, and obviously this wasn't my favorite book to ever exist. The one thing that gave it the extra star, giving it a total of 3 stars total, was the spicy scenes that Bloom Stories added on. It definitely made these stories so much better. I think if it weren't for Bloom Stories, I probably wouldn't have ever listened to this, but I'm glad I did because obviously Pride and Prejudice is such a classic, but add in a little bit of spice and this beautiful special edition that I actually gifted away another copy of this that they kindly sent to me. Also, there was like some fun art in this copy. So good. This was a 3-star. Just so you know, up until February 21st, I think it is. Should double check my facts before I tell you this. So, 2 exciting things when it comes to Bloom Stories, who is the author and producer, I wouldn't say author, of this book. And it's the spicy audiobook service that I've been talking to you guys about. And it's not just audiobooks, it's short stories. I listened to one the other day. It was so good. They are spicy. They are extremely well produced because there is sound effects. And it's not just somebody talking at you explaining it, like you're like pretty much visualizing sex scenes in your head. It's fantastic. They are publishing a special story on Valentine's Day, and if you sign up with my code Lexi's Reading or use the link in my description box, you will obviously get access to that story. Another special offer that they are doing is because a lot of people had a lot of interest in my videos in the past about this book when I talked about it, they are actually offering the entire Pride and Prejudice audiobook for free, $0 on Bloom Stories from right now until February 21st. So not only will you get the spicy audiobooks and short stories, you can actually listen to the spicy version of this on their platform for free if you sign up from now until the 21st. So definitely check it out. You will not be disappointed, especially if you like spicy stuff. You can take advantage of both of those offers by using the link in my description box or using code Lexi's Reading at checkout, and just thank me later. So next, on Super Bowl Sunday, actually, at literally like right before midnight, I finally finished Cross My Heart by Megan Collins, and y'all, this was a time. I don't think it was the best book ever written, but I literally didn't know who did what, why they did it, how all these people were connected until literally the very last second. And I was so intrigued the entire time. I was reading this and I had like, I think 40 pages left, and we weren't even close to figuring out like who committed this crime, why they did it, how they're connected, and all of that. With most books that are like that, where like you're nearing the end and the plot hasn't like concluded yet, you usually get whiplash, but with this one, I didn't get any plot whiplash. I finished it and I was like, all right, I kind of could have seen that coming, but I also didn't feel like it was so rushed, and that's why I loved this book, because it did not feel rushed whatsoever. I ended up giving this 4 stars, and I actually think I'm gonna try to get her other book, which is The Family Plot, I think, on audio, because I want to try out one of her books on audio. I feel like with how fast-paced and like quick they are, I feel like it could be a really good audiobook. So highly recommend this one. I loved this. Did I mention I gave it 4 stars? I don't know. And then lastly, when I was driving downstate and to New Jersey yesterday for work, I did end up finishing The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I loved this. This was another 4 stars, so it wasn't a 5-star favorite, but I so enjoyed this. I literally was like, I think I had 2.5 hours left of the audiobook, and something kind of resolved itself, and I was like, okay, well, like, what is she gonna talk about for the next 2.5 hours? And literally my emotions were on an upward and downward spiral of a roller coaster. That's why I love Catherine Center's writing, is because like a lot goes on, but it's not a lot to where you're like, wait a second, we're doing too much here. It literally all flows perfectly, and she's probably one of my favorite rom-com authors, if not my favorite. And she just like knows how to write a book that's gonna like, I don't know how to describe it. At one point yesterday something happened and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like literally out loud to myself in my car, I was like, wait, what? Like what is happening? And if I'm doing that in a book, that means it was really good. So yeah, this was also a 4-star. That wraps up this reading vlog. I don't know what we're gonna call this yet. It's either gonna be like a weekly reading vlog or like a mood reading vlog, because it really was just mood reading. I had an idea of reading these 2 coming into this video, but then The Bodyguard just sounded really good. It was available on audio, so I decided why not. That is this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, make sure to do so. Make sure to have that notification bell on so you're notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.